And the truth is, I think we're living in a lie. A whole lie. Because, what you see in social media, all that you see in social media, like, it doesn't seem to translate to what's happening out in our real world. Of course it's coming from somewhere, but is it just you? And, the comments will tell it. Comments will tell it. Maybe it's just me. You know? Yeah, I'm suffering, but, God takes good care of me. You know? And, who else would I suffer for if not him? It's part of the call. I read that in the Gospel of Luke too. It's like, it's just part of the call. You're not going to always have everything you want, but you are going to be taken care of. Suffering. I suffereth not. He comes through for me, The other night, I said, I need some money. Angels, I need some money. And I found a gold ring. And when I picked it up, I think I already told this story, but I'm going to tell it again. I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gold. It's some man's wedding band. And when I got a good look at it, I heard the word divorced. I was like, there's a club not too far from where I found it. Maybe he was trying to, maybe he put it in his pocket while he was in the club, and then he went looking for something, maybe his car keys, and it slipped out. Because it was a little beat up too. I said, oh my goodness. Divorce. I don't think I know enough about this subject. I do, but divorce. Sometimes it just don't work out. Take it to God. Take it to God. Sometimes it just don't work out. You're human. This is what he gave us forgiveness for. Everything's not going to be perfect. Forgive ourselves, forgive the other person in your time. I'm not trying to rush you into it, because forgiveness is difficult depending upon what someone has done to you. So I'm not rushing you through it. It hurts, Here you are, invested and built a life with someone, and now that shit is over. And you gotta pay the price for it. I don't know what happened. Y'all know y'all story, but divorce, it's over. It's done. Exito finito. Oh my gosh. I found this gold ring. And I said, he's either about to cheat or cheating, you know. That's usually why people get divorced. But the whole time I'm looking at it, walking the street, like, is this gold? Yes, that's gold. Remember you used to walk for that jeweler? I said, you know gold when you see gold. I said, well, it looks like gold, but it looks strange. It's because it's gold from another country. Because I asked this guy to read the inscription because I didn't have my glasses on me, and no, I did. I found them, and then I still couldn't see the inscription. And he said it says Turkey. I said, that's all it says? He says, yeah, it says Turkey. I said, oh, no wonder it looks strange. I said, this looks like gold. My eyes are saying gold, but it's from Turkey. Yep. Sometimes I find gold on the streets. When I ask for money, they just like, here's a piece of jewelry. But I end up keeping them anyway. And God told me to keep this ring. I said, I will. And I can't tell you why, because what's between him and I is between him and I. Yeah. I think I'm going to take one more walk around, and then I'm going to take it in. That's how I got to spend my nights, you know. Just stay away from the drama. That be within the shelter. We can still impeach him successfully, but we need to wake up. We need to wake up now.